Deuteronomy 19:4. V'zeh dvar haroseach, asher yanus shama v'chai, asher yakeh et re'ehu bivli da'at, v'hu lo soneh lo mitmol shilshom. So we've got an interesting verse here, but we begin with the vav on this, the demonstrative pronoun. Now this, and this would be a verbless clause, this is the matter of, notice the singular construct form there of devar with the reduced vowel under the dalet, the matter of the murderer. Here's that participle that we saw in the previous verse. The verbal root here is resh tzadeh chet. And notice it's a third guttural, and it prefers that ah sound, so we get that furtive patak that gives us that vocalic glad, rotseach, into that final chet. The murderer who, he will flee. There's a call imperfect third masculine singular of the verbal root nun vav samik. He will flee to there, and he will live, literally, but we could see this vav as purpose, that he may live. That's why he is fleeing to those cities of refuge. This is a call perfect third masculine singular of the verbal root chet yod he, that he may live. The next relative clause here picks up still referring to the murderer and kind of what he did. Who he smote, direct object marker, his friend. He smote or struck. Smote sounded like an old word there, struck. We've got here a hifil of the verbal root nun kaf he. Now that is a very difficult word, third he. We've got the typical ending for third he's here. The nun has assimilated. Hifil we get from the performative vowel right here as an a, and the nun is assimilated right there. So we're only left with the kaf as the part of this root technically. I guess we get the he as well, but you've got who he struck his friend without knowledge, and this would be a way of saying unintentionally. He didn't plan this out. He didn't have a prior knowledge, but he struck his friend. Next we get and he, further referring to this murderer, and he does not hate. Here's a participle, or he is not a hater. We get a call participle here of the verbal root sin nun aleph. He is not a hater to him, to his friend. That's the third masculine singular there. And then we get this interesting phrase here. This would be something like yesterday, 3 days ago. And we often see this put together, mitmol shilshom, as something to be just more generically as like previously or formerly. The idea here is the man struck his friend or his neighbor unintentionally, and he didn't have anything against him. He didn't hate him previously.